Are we good to go?
Yes. Yeah,
In the mark sheet, there is a name called Steve Curran. I mean, he run away. So did Pete. I mean, no one's going to watch the clock today, though. So you can go over a little. Before we start, I mean, we're going to set the boundaries, the theme. I mean, war is like, people go, wow, it's beautiful, destroy it. I mean, it's like the shortest knock-knock joke. Knock-knock, fucking come in. Our first slammer is Tim. He volunteered. Tim is a big, big name. It's like, Team Eddie Humphreys and Murphys. Yeah. So that's Tim. So.
Hello. My daughter is now 5.5 months old, and people now feel that it's just got to be this question of, so, what's it like?
What?
Solid answer. So this is ongoing. It is a list of things that I've learned from my daughter, despite her being so young. 1. I once didn't recognise my own limbs. Seeing your own spawn recognise theirs for the first time creates both awe, as in wow, and awe, as in ah. And also that hilarious expression of, oh my god, that's my foot! 2. There are many profound names you can attribute to a person prior to their birth in order to then embarrass them at a later point in time. We went for womb invader, bladder beater, and willowpede, as in millipede, but with willow instead. 3. We have forgotten how to vomit with any finesse. I've seen my daughter vomit on my cat and fall back to sleep as though she hadn't just disgraced her future friend. Now the two can spend time in the same room again, but arm's length was necessary for a period. Let's not pretend. 4. Nervous is a word I didn't really know before. Now nervous is a spoonful, a blanket, a splutter, a handful, a corner, a socket, a seatbelt, an empty bottle, a full bottle. You get the picture. I'm very aware now. 5. My wife can make inappropriate jokes at pretty much any occasion. Everyone know what an episiotomy is?
Episiotomy.
The little slit they give you when you give birth. So she managed to make a joke about that about an hour after having one. I'm sat there feeling very male and going, I can't laugh, I can't laugh, I can't laugh, I can't laugh, I can't laugh. 6. My frown is so hard to shake that now my daughter will face the same problem. We don't mean to look annoyed, but what do you do when someone cuts in line, or sunlight blinds your eyes, or someone wakes you up too soon, or someone hasn't brought you food? Exactly. 7. Pat Stay, the battle rapper. Anyone familiar? No? Well, he apparently can hold the attention of a very wide range of audiences. At 2 months of age, my daughter was captivated. I imagine he's aiming for the Rap Act fan base though, so that was weird. Number 8. Football celebrations can be terrifying when they're unexpected. Celebrating goals in silence is much more difficult than you'd think, and it all has to be sort of condensed into one of those Henman. However, if you have your child in your hands, you have to kind of go like a salmon and then hope that your child doesn't wake up. Number 9, people will not always be impressed with what you'd expect them to be. Both cats and babies can teach you this. And number 10, it is surprisingly difficult to avoid becoming one of those parents on social media. You might be one of them, and yes, this is me simultaneously trying to not become one of you whilst also becoming one of you at the same time. And again, I'm aware of this, and again, both cats and babies can teach you this. Cheers.
That was Tim Eddie Humphreys Jones. I mean, saying the whole name saves me a joke. Next, we have Richie Integer.
Yeah.
This is DEFCON 4. The curtain falls, always leaving wanting more. When a player plus a line, paint falls off the walls. Unzip downloaded software, breaking the law. Keep turning up the dial up to DEFCON 4, so I'm deaf, deafer still, deafest. Arrange all the pieces like a game of chess. I equalize the frequencies, aim to impress. On my Ibanez sound gear, my bass lines are best. There's thunder in the headphones as my eardrums die. A sample backing track almost to philosophize. I might not win the charts, but at least I tried and had a crack attack in the vacuum deep inside. So I hope you'll understand me if I fail to respond. What? This ringing in my ears just goes on and on and on. But no one said that bass addiction was wrong, so I just keep playing until my bass gets bombed. Loud, louder, louder still, loudest with frequency vibration in your head and your chest, like peristalsis for the food you ingest. A beat to help break up a dose of workday stress, so this bass line of baits to get your teeth into, till the song is like a pencil getting old and chewed. Arpeggiate till 8 because there's nothing else to do, because it's payday and I'm waiting for my wages to come through, cause everything costs, everybody wants your cash, man. It's my career, but I'll give it a bash. At least it's something cheap to do, post-financial crash, combining every influence from ambient to thrash, but I'm still not sure if I can write these poems anymore. Assembling these songs without knowing who they're for, are they an outlet for me, like sweat expelled from pores? Or are they for someone else explaining why my ends are short? Because 20 days a year is not enough to get away, I fear, and so I don my headphones as my means of escape from here. And though I might be digital, not analog with tapes and gears, I'm still looping a beat, hoping that you'll be throwing shapes, not chairs. Yeah, still looping a beat, hoping you'll be throwing shapes, not chairs. Yeah, still looping a beat, hoping you'll be throwing shapes. You've got to be kidding me, yanking my chain. You're taking the piss now, kindly refrain. We're writing down ideas, thoughts all in a train. Spreading the word, ultimately in vain. I'm voicing opinions on the way that we live. The nature of people, some take and some give. Some spewing rubbish like water through a sieve. And some taking care who they choose to spend their time with. Move on this treadmill, because it will never stop. Keep consuming petrol and purchasing cash crops. Give me half a chance to get out and like a shot. I'll be on my way to where the beat's about to drop. So turn the sound up loud enough, like it was meant to be, to alleviate the ache of spiritual lobotomy. Ignore the pennies pounding around this false economy, and focus on the beats, and if it helps to drop a knee. So instead of freaking out and going postal on your ass, instead you find me going home and smoking half my stash. But I'd better find a label soon, because fashion changes fast. I started from the front, but at the finish I'll be last. A daily dialogue of truth, just present the facts. Not talking without making sense like I've been smoking crack. Soft pads and spiky beats, because opposites attract. I started from the front, but soon I'll be at the back. I've written all this down instead of trying to freestyle, because making up rhymes on the fly might take a while. Oven bake a lyrical cake, that conceals a file, and batter out the hits like teeth not from a smile.
That was Richie, everyone. By the way, you don't smoke crack like this, you could smoke like this. How do I know? I mean, you know, if peace is a hard thing, then war is a Bush and dead thing. Dick Cheney, W. Bush. Next, we have Natasha Bolton. Thank God I didn't say Bolton because of my complexion. Natasha.
My son, he won't hide from me. I've seen that trick before. I've locked myself in smoke-filled rooms and slept on cold tile floors. And I've trekked a country mile for an underwhelming joint and missioned back to town again, but honestly now I don't really see the point. But I cherished every moment then of a dodgy-looking bag, flirted with too many strangers just to bum a fag or a light in commune-crowded bus shelters in a serotonin free-fall on a Friday afternoon. I've spent my bus fare on a pack of fags and lost my keys in clubs. I've grazed my knees on the walk home and I've been barred from pubs. I've slept on naked mattresses and made backpacks into pillows. And I've left too hot home too many times and heard that nomad's echo. But it's all snapshot in a memory now, a blurred nostalgic haze of weekends in a muddy field and a heavy sighing fray of damp-soaked feet and borrowed walks home. But we piled our bodies campfire high and sang into the moonlight. The streetlight cleared the runway and illuminated street fights. Remember the linger of fag stump clothes and yellow ink-stained fingertips. Rocky holes in my favourite junker. And hot and mouth-dry lips. And we know the streets of Wrexham better than our hands. We've slogged down every alleyway and lingered on the bandstand. We've hiked up soggy leaf-drenched hills in all kinds of true Welsh weather. And we've used the stars as strobe lights and slept beside the river. And I know the house we used to use for 10p fags and cider. And I've sewed the hidden pocket into the bottom of my school bag. But just know what you're taking, who you're taking, what you're taking with. It's not all good advice in life, but my opinion is the choices that you make in life are all your own. It's the consequence you share and regret. That you should have known there's only one exit here. Just enjoy the journey there and take your time. The scenic route still gets you your fair share. But they say everything in moderation, and not all of us survived. They came up in friendly conversation and nobody admits they've tried to make peace with it. It could have been any one of us. We've all played our part. We've had towing the line between two lives off to a fine art. And the truth with drugs is that you never really know what it is, how much you'll take, or how your night will go. It's not a light decision. We've weighed the pros and cons. The lights are dim, the coast is clear, the demons are all out and about, and they look like you and me. So sometimes in the light of sun, the sun's too bright to see. The deed is done, the ship has sailed, and we're floating out to sea. Alright, my son, he'll probably hide from me. He'll probably sneak and lie, and why not? I did when I was his age. But I've seen these tricks before. I've secret stash above the wardrobe and double locked the door. They say everything in moderation, and I tend to agree. The drugs, the drink, the rock and roll, they were all appealing to me. But this rat race, fast-paced society is unforgiving.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just to need a break from living. Just don't miss it altogether. The storm is coming anyway. We just dress for the weather.
I mean, the mic's behaving like my maid there. I mean, George Dupier, right? Weapon of mass destruction. I mean, he should have looked under his bushes. I mean, if I were to copy Wiki, I would say, don't draw a bomb, draw bushes. I mean, dropping bomb for peace is like